It's your boy Ty back here with another video, and in this video today, guys, we're going to be going over and talking about the new cards coming in the COOKIN set tomorrow in NBA 2K24 MyTEAM, and just as a reminder, in case you guys don't know, all of the COOKIN cards do lock in for Steph Curry. Now, obviously, yesterday we saw our first fast break card be, today we saw our first fast break card be Rick Mahorn. Seeing another one of those tomorrow as well. So, if we get a leak later talking about that, I'm probably not going to record that specifically, just because it's going to be one player. But yeah, one more player for free coming tomorrow. I'm expecting it to be an Emerald player as well. Now, in the COOKIN set, we see Emerald Jordan Farmar, point guard. Sapphire Marcus Camby. We see Emerald Steve Novak. And here's the deal, guys. Here's the deal. Steve Novak, I don't know if you know about him, but I remember, pretty sure I used to play like 2K13, and he never, ever missed. Like, ever. I'm not going to sit here and lie. The card was absolutely him. Or not even the card. He was just absolutely him because he literally greened every shot on the court. So, if you want a sharpshooter, if you like Kyle Korver, I don't know why you would love Kyle Korver because you don't play no defense. That's basically going to be what Steve Novak is for a budget player. Now, Jordan Farmar's only 6'2". I don't remember a Jordan Farmar card ever in 2K, so that'll be interesting to see what type of release they give him, stuff like that. I'm really liking these drops in general because if you look at the cards we've been getting, they're cards we normally don't see very often. Like, even like, I guess we've seen some of these cards quite often, but when I look at these cards right here, we hardly ever see any of these cards. Like Jordan Farmar, we see Marcus Camby, but Steve Novak, another card where we don't see too much of. Now, Emeralds, they're going to cost 7,000 MT. Marcus Camby probably around that 15 to 20,000 MT. So if I had to guess, I don't think any of these cards are going to be totally worth it. Now again, they do lock in for Steph Curry. So if you're one, you want to just continue to get them day by day while grinding the MT. I mean, I get it. But just know, the last day when it comes to Friday, we're going to get either rubies or amies. And I'm pretty sure amies. And they're not going to be cheap in my team. So, again, just kind of think about that. Keep that in the back of your mind. Now, these COOKIN packs. It was interesting because today they were actually really cheap because there were emeralds in there. And, like, you could buy a pack for, like, 4,000 MT. You could buy, like, a 20 box for, like, 80,000 MT. Like, they were really cheap. I do expect them to go up tomorrow, maybe with them being there being a sapphire in there just a little bit. But again, we'll just have to wait and see as far as that is concerned. The big question is, should you guys be collecting these cards for Steph Curry? I'm going to say for the average person, for the 95%, no. Because my whole thing is this, right? If you have Kyrie Irving, you do not need Steph Curry. Now, yes, Steph's going to be better probably offensively. He's probably going to have a better release. But, I mean, Kyrie is so good, you do not need Steph Curry. So, I'm going to tell you guys what you guys probably want to hear. You don't need Steph Curry. Now, am I going to get Steph Curry? Maybe. But a lot of that has to do with, I play the game a ton. And so, I have a lot of MT just kind of sitting there. And so, that would be the main reason I get Steph Curry, as well as for content purposes and stuff like that. But even for me, if Steph Curry's like, you know, over 500,000 MT, which I think he's gonna be by the time it ends, I just don't think I'm going to be locking him in. Because yes, Jordan Farmar might be good. Marcus Camby, he's probably okay for budget ballers. Steve Novak, a good budget card. And even if you look at these emeralds we got today, like Ray Allen for budget ballers is fine. But are any of these cards going to play on a really good squad? Probably not. And so that's the big thing. Yes, we've got 6 out of the 15 cards so far, and they're fine for emeralds, right? They're fine for budget cards. I just have a really hard time locking in this set, knowing that none of these cards, at least so far, have been that elite, that next level good. So it's going to be interesting because the Sapphire tomorrow is Marcus Camby. And again, I'm not super stoked on him. And again, Jordan Farmar, I mean, again, anytime we do have a point guard that comes that we normally don't have in my team, it gets my attention just for the sole fact of we do not have a lot of good budget point guards. If you watch my top 10 point guard list, you see Matthew Dellavedova on there. He's our basically only good point guard, as was the Nick Van Exel duo is pretty solid as well. But we just don't have that many good budget point guards. And so every time we get one, I'm pretty hyped because I know how desperately we do need point guards in my team. Again, when it comes down to these, I would grind these out because you get a free Clyde as well as a free Draymond. And if you are no money spent, definitely worth your time. I expect these to be harder to get than Rick Mahorn. Rick Mahorn, you just needed 1 rebound and 1 block. I do expect them to get harder as the tiers go up, but how hard can they truly make it? I mean, there's only 5 total cards, and even if they make the last card like an hour or so grind, it still is not going to be a bad grind when it comes down to it. Now, is Clyde or Draymond going to be as good as Steph? Probably not. Like, Steph is the highlight of this week. The sad part is these cards are free. Meanwhile, Steph is going to be ridiculously expensive. 2K makes it like that for a reason, but I mean, at least we're getting some fast break content to grind in my team. So here's, what to expect. Should you rip packs? That's a question people might have. No, never rip packs. I mean, if you want some of these cards, maybe come Friday, it might be worth your time. But for now, I would just hold off on ripping packs. Just because, like, even if they're cheap, the best you can pull is what? I guess a sapphire tomorrow, but for the most part, an emerald, which at the end of the day, what? 5,000 MT for an emerald, your sellback value, or 7,000 MT for an emerald, your sellback value is going to be like 3,000, 2,000 MT. So you're not going to make any MT on it. So that's just kind of where I stand on everything. Do these 3 cards get me excited? Not really. Steve Novak is probably going to be pretty solid though. We'll see what release they give him. Marcus Camby is going to be an interior big. Jordan Farmar, only 6'2". Gotta hope his 3 ball's high. Gotta hope they give him good defense, because otherwise he's just going to be another, emerald point guard that, in the grand scheme of things, is not very good in general. I'm eager. Like, I know this week is starting pretty slow because the content, starts low and then gets better. But we should see an emerald in the fast break set. That should help us out. And then when we get to, like, today's Monday, right? When we get to Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, that's when the content really is going to ramp up. And that's when we're going to start seeing some of these really solid cards, like, that hopefully make Steph worth locking in for. Like, let's say later on this set, you see like an Amy, I'm just going to throw out a name, like an Amy Rudy Gobert, right? Or an Amy, again, I'm just trying to think of names here. An Amy Kobe Bryant, right? He probably won't be in this set, but you guys get what I'm saying, right? Like, we need cards that make Steph Curry worth locking in for, because these guys absolutely aren't getting the job done. That's gonna wrap it up for my video. 3 decent budget options coming to my team tomorrow. Anybody I'm really looking forward to? Probably Steve Novak, because again, he is going to be a pure sharpshooter. Drop a like on it. Subscribe if you are new, and as always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.